Straight up Tennessee family. It is game week. We have finally made it. All the waiting, all the time, everything that we've been waiting for is now here. Tennessee, Syracuse, Aflac kickoff game, Saturday, noon kick, Mercedes-Benz, Atlanta, Georgia. Tennessee straps up the orange and white for the first time. And man, oh man, what a night it's going to be tonight, guys. You already know what the title says. Who is Syracuse? You're going to find out all of that and more tonight. I got a crew with me tonight. It's game week and people done showed up out the woodwork for this one. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, get your popcorn ready. Get your comments, questions, everything. Light up the chat tonight. It's about to be a fun night. So I can't wait to dive in. Let's just go ahead and get to it, man. We're going to go. I'm telling you right now what we're going to flow through right now. Josh Heupel, presser. We're going to just dive into the press conference, kind of get what we could get out of it. Heupel always is on one during a game week. I just feel like he is on a different level when it comes to game week as far as directness. He's direct and very blunt. And we'll dive into that. Then we'll dive into a little bit of the scout of Syracuse. Who are they? What does Tennessee need to look for? Do we need to look out for anything? What do they have that we may not know about? We'll dive all into that. And then we just going to light the chat up, man. So y'all guide the show like you always do. It's your boy Ruck in the building, man. I got a crew with me. I'm not even going to intro everybody because I'm going to wait till y'all see what's going down tonight. But you already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Welcome to the Who is Syracuse show game week. Oh, God, that just feels good to say. Let's go.
Tennessee's the program to keep an eye on. If you want to know which program that's not currently at the head table of college football, it's Tennessee.
Now Meshack's got to go. A fire! Fire! Wins it! July Meshack wins it! He needs a strike. Burton needs a bolt. Swing and a miss! And for the first time, Rocky Top reaches the mountaintop of college baseball.
What is good, people? Welcome to Straight Up Tennessee on a Monday. I got C2. I got Dip. Hold up, y'all. Hey, we got the boy Turner back with us, baby.
Hey, that's it, bro. It's game week.
Yes, sir. Y'all already know what to do, man. It's the top of the show. Like, comment, subscribe, and join the channel. It's very simple, man. Join that channel. You get more content. You get more communication from the Straight Up Tennessee family. This is everywhere. You guys join that channel. You'll get that link to the Discord. But, boys, the wait is over. How we feeling?
Man, it's so good to be back. I've missed football so much.
Yeah, talking season's over. Finally, no more Nico, no more Boo. Line them up, put the ball down. Let's go.
Man, I was just sitting on my back porch a minute ago, just like, this is football. The weather is pristine right now. I need it.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's all we need. Look, man, chat blowing up already. My boy Clout in the building. Straight Up Tennessee fan. What's good? What's happening? Ian Pickett, 5 days. Brent Rains. He is an information ninja. Waka. That could be like two things. You know, I am black. That's kind of like what people use. I don't know. We can go there another time. Little Clout. We made it, boys. Clout said, big turn. Ian Pickett, Tennessee wins 40. Listen, dude, Ian, we don't talk about that till like an hour from now. And you already starting with score predictions? Come on, Ian. Look. Brent said I was talking about Heupel when he's talking about an information ninja. Hey, I mean, listen, I was cool with it. You feel me? You my homie, dog. Then Brent also gives us a full timer, 11 hours and 26 minutes until kickoff. Y'all, I mean, look, chat. Ian says, I'm sorry, bro. I'm too hype. JT Money says, Turner, what's the first? Oh, wow. Let's dive in. Turner, what's the first turnover and who is it going to be?
I'm guessing he's talking about what team is going to turn it over first.
Maybe.
I'm guessing. I'm gonna say that one. First turnover. I'm gonna say it is a. Oh man, this one came out of nowhere. I'm gonna say a strip sack on the old Angeli boy.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I mean, look, y'all.
Josh Joseph is gonna do it, and Carry Carter's gonna pick it up.
We going to the crib?
We going to the crib first game.
Turn got back on the show and he coming out here crazy, boy. I'm trying to. Oh my. Also, Ian Pickett, Ricky Gibson, or Colton Hood gets a pick. I like that too. Boys, let's just kind of dive in. Chat, keep blowing it up. Ask your questions. We'll have a whole segment, man. We'll dive into some questions, and if they're good ones, we'll just pop them in right now. But boys, it's been a long time coming. We've went through, like Dylan said early, we went through the Nico saga the day before the orange and white game. Mm-hmm. We've went through the Boo Carter missing quote unquote voluntary summer workouts. We all know, people, those are not voluntary when it comes to really any level of football, especially college. You have done nothing to solidify yourself to not show up to practice. But guess what? We made it past that. And now you're 5 days away from kickoff in Atlanta. What is your excitement level right now, Dylan, on a Monday of game week?
On a 1 to 10, it's about a 12. I'm just ready, bro. We could be playing Montana State for the blind and deaf, and I'd still be hyped, bro. I'm just ready to play.
Yeah. C2, what you thinking, man? Obviously, it's Monday. It's easy to be super hyped Monday, and then the nerves start to kick in on a Thursday. But how you feeling on Monday?
No, I'm hyping. There ain't gonna be no nerves for this game come Thursday.
I like it.
Nah, we save those nerves for week 3.
Yes, there will be a lot of those. Yeah, I mean, that's when you take a couple of too many shots of Jack and you just kind of let it ride. You just go let it ride.
That Hawaii Stanford game got me hyped though. That quarterback, that got tough.
Low key, that was a good game. Like what was weird about that game was it kind of started off, which I think every game, week 0 and probably this week, I hate to say, just going to start off a little sloppy, like people forgot how to play football, right? And I hope that doesn't happen to us, but inevitably something's going to happen that's kind of wacky, like whether it's a wide open like out route that we just kind of miss or something wacky. I just want to get through week 1 with no turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Turn on a Monday. How you feeling?
Man, I feel good. I feel great. I don't think it'll fully hit me until I'm parking, walking to Mercedes-Benz. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's when it clicks.
When I see when you get out there and see the warm-ups, I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead. I was just gonna say I don't know what to think with this team, to be honest with you.
And we're gonna dive all into that because that's a huge. Dylan and I talked about this a lot on I guess this was last Wednesday. Like, here, I'm gonna move this question for a second. We talked a lot about how there are a lot of unknowns, but something about what Heupel has built makes me like he always finds an answer. Like last year we did it and it wasn't the way we wanted it to look, right? As fans, it was boring football to watch. Let's be honest, right? Like it was nothing fun to watch last year. But we found a way to win, and we went to the college football playoff with no passing game. So now you got a guy in Joey Aguilar, which we'll probably spend a ton of time talking about here later in the show, who is going to make plays. But how many of those plays are going to be made before we see, and hopefully that we don't see, the turnover bug that has been Joey Aguilar at App State in 2024. But this is a great question right here from Clout. How many rushing yards are we putting up, and who gets the first touch? Deshaun Bishop's getting the first touch.
Yeah.
Deshaun Bishop is going to run it on the field first. I promise. I think.
I do agree with something like like what Corey said once. I guess it was a week or two ago. Like Deshaun Bishop might take us all the way down the field, but if we're talking second down and 1, we throw in Peyton Lewis in. Go punch it in. Because Dylan, I think it was you. You said you think Peyton Lewis might have the most touchdowns out of all of the running backs this year.
Yeah, I think he'll be the vulture like Sample was in 23. I think Starr and Bishop get us down there, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's going to be Peyton Lewis getting the goal line carries.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, because he did that last year. Think about it. Peyton Lewis had like 3 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, something like that.
And I mean, they were in good games. I know he scored against Kentucky once. He punched it in late against Mississippi State. So, like, I know Peyton Lewis is the kind of, like you said, that touchdown vulture later in the drive. Like, all right, let's run in the big boys and let's go get something.
I'm on the D Bish hype train. I mean, I'm D Bish all the way. I think Peyton Lewis gonna get his touches. I think he's gonna get it, but we don't know what a 215 D Bishop's gonna do.
Oh, it's gonna be scary.
I mean,
For Syracuse come Saturday, it's gonna be scary.
Yeah, good gosh.
It really is. Let's talk about Heupel's press conference just a little bit tonight. So obviously, Heupel meets with the media every single Monday of game weeks, and today was his shortest press conference of the year. He's met with the media 4 times since fall camp, and today, the first game week of the year, his press conference is all of 8 minutes and 40 seconds. And we don't really get a lot of information, right? Obviously, we even send our condolences out to Ben McKee, one of the hosts of the Swain event, Go Vols 247 writer and journalist, who was diagnosed with cancer. Ben, we are praying for you. I don't think any of us know you personally, but we love and adore your work. We're around it. We see it. We listen to it. And we want more of it. And so we're praying through this season with you and for you, brother. But I think we heard what we needed to hear about key things from Heupel today. And they were very underlying to me, but we heard what we needed to hear. They asked the question about Boo Carter. What's Heupel say? He's going to be available. Y'all, can I tell you something? Can I just be honest? The way he responded to that question, there's no way Boo Carter is not running out there first. In my opinion, I could be 100% wrong, but the way he responded to that, yeah, he's going to be available. Y'all, the whole time it's been, he's got to do the things to get back. And now he's just all of a sudden going to be available to play. The man going to roll out there first, bro. I'm sorry.
I feel like he plays. I don't know if it's the ones, though.
He'll be out there somewhere.
Yeah.
If we get a punt return the first drive, he is returning that punt.
I think he'll be on a short leash, regardless of regardless of if he's with the ones or rotating in. He gets a silly penalty or something like that, he's going to go sit down.
I kind of agree with Tennessee Jr. If he does sit, he'll sit for one drive. That's his punishment. One drive, bro.
I think it's tough because it's like, Heupel said it, nobody's bigger than the program, but he's here. If he's doing the right things, like we all know at the end of the day, Boo out there is going to give us the best chance to win.
Yeah.
And you hate to be like that, but as a college coach, you gotta win. Now I'm saying if he's not doing what he's supposed to, then sure, don't play him. But
so
at
some point.
I also feel like a lot of his punishment has been behind the scenes, not so much in game, but in fall camp. practice.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
that.
you're probably
One
right
thing
about that.
about Heupel, you don't know. You don't know anything.
Nope.
No, never. And I
Have
mean,
no clue.
prime example. They ask him who's quarterback two, and his man says, "I guess y'all gonna have to wait till Saturday to find out." Like, bro, what? You can't even tell us the backup, bro. You told us the starter before, like we thought you would, and you can't even tell us the backup. And supposedly, Syracuse is doing the same thing. Like, we're not gonna know any depth chart until Saturday.
I've seen that.
What do y'all think about that? That's different for me. Like, that's kind of strange. Like, what are we hiding? Like, huh?
Dude, the
Who knows?
portal and everything else, it is just ramped up these coaches' minds. They're so much more paranoid with everything now. You're not going to get a depth chart till the day before, probably. It's insane now.
Well, one of my favorite things Heupel says a lot in his press conferences, especially if it's something controversial like what was going on with Boo. You know, I'm not going to tell y'all everything about that. I'm not going to get into everything involved in that. Like, bro, you don't get involved in anything. Like, you don't tell us much of anything involved in that. Like, forget everything. We get the barest surface on a lot of this stuff.
What y'all think about this? Clout in the chat on YouTube says Heupel has put this team in a position to win regardless, and I think that means having Boo Carter on the field.
I don't think we need Boo to win this game, but I think he needs the reps in this game for us to have a better chance of beating Georgia. Because reps against ETSU aren't going to mean all that much.
I agree.
Man. I agree too.
I feel like there's a lot that we're going to dive into here about like who Syracuse is, and none of it scares me, man. Like I've watched their film from last year. Yes, they were one of the best passing offenses in the entire country in 2024. But can I tell y'all, against who? Like, you gotta remember who you are playing. Wake Forest? Boston College? You beat a Miami team whose defense was trash last year. Let's be real. Defense was straight trash booty. Terrible. And so we'll dive into that in a second, but let's just keep this conversation rolling. Obviously, the talk of the town, and they even asked a lot of the players. We're moving a little bit to the player interviews. They're asking them about Joey Aguilar, what he's come into the program and how he has approached every single day. That has to give you some type of confidence to hear from every single guy how Joey has presented and applied himself to not just the playbook, to not just being QB1, but to being a good teammate first. Like, to me, that's what stands out, because I've been around guys who thought they was just that guy. And that's what Nico was. He thought and walked around like he was that guy. And he got humbled every Saturday by not playing football very well for us. Do you think Joey's approach is going to help aid in how people around him play for him?
Absolutely. I mean, you look at Hendon and just how much this offense was bonded to each other. Guys were picking themselves up after they went down, stuff like that. And then you look at the next year with Joe, when he would go out there and he would throw an interception and he'd just go back to the sidelines and smile. And everybody else is just looking around like, what are we doing? That's what a leader does for your team. When a guy like that comes in and he gets to know you and he takes you out to dinner and he works for you, it's that big of a step from somebody that's just another 5-star or just another quarterback.
You know, I heard somebody break this down, and y'all can answer that question if you want to when I'm finished with this. I don't care. But somebody was breaking down what 5-star actually means. And it opened my eyes, y'all. Like, we get so excited about that name, that title, 5-star. But all it means is that you have the potential, keyword, potential, to be one of the best players at the next level. It means nothing other than that. Like, you can look at competition. Again, Warren in California plays no one. Nico lost a lot of games his senior year in high school. But the thing that I'm telling y'all is that 5-star title, it's nice to have them, but I've seen a lot of busts that are 5 stars. I've seen a lot of them recently. And one of them could potentially be on Syracuse's roster in Jonte Cook. It didn't work out at Texas. It didn't work out at Washington. So now you're up in upstate New York. Like, something ain't working, right? Like, let's go back. Let's just take it on back. Let's think about Nico. Like, we don't know what Nico's going to be at UCLA. We know that they're going to go 5-7 this year and not make a bowl game. And if they if they get to 6-6 and make a bowl game, like, to God be the glory, like, congratulations. But what I'm saying is the 5-star title is cool until they're not. And I think Heupel has done such a great job bringing in those highly touted gym 4 stars that should have been 5-star recruits, that those are the guys that we end up playing the most of and getting the most out of.
Yeah, I'll take a 4-star recruit with a 5-star mentality any day over someone who's got a 5-star athletic ability but a 2-star attitude, who thinks he's already made it. So what's the point?
Yeah.
I think
There's a reason. Go ahead,
Tom. Bro. You good?
All right.
Good,
Well, I think there's a reason that they call it potential, because you look at some of these 5-star busts and they've got all the intangibles. Like Nico, he had the arm, he had the mobility, he has the height, he had everything. But something in his mind just could not click to where he could run an offense efficiently.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same kind of issue with Jonte Cook at Syracuse, not to jump too far ahead, but the guy's an elite athlete, but he's transferred down every year he's been a D1 athlete. You can't go from Texas to Washington to Syracuse. That
don't make no sense
at all. Because Texas has the money. It ain't for money. So I don't know what the deal is there.
I think a big part of it is, too, how you carry yourself. I mean, you see it with Nico last year. Like, these dudes let's just use Nico, for example, 5-star, like, big-time quarterback, right? Like, he's got the name. Everybody's looking at him like, oh, like, look at me. Like, I think some of these dudes they're 17, 18 years old, right? I mean, they get caught up so much in themselves. They're like, oh, I'm good enough. I ain't gotta go in there. I ain't gotta listen to these coaches. I know better. Like, I mean, instead of Big Nick going to Heupel and saying, hey, get my guys better receivers. Hey, bro, how about your son actually hits the open receivers? How about that one?
Why don't you hit the ones that are open first?
Yeah, and see, that's what I mean. Like, it's never their fault. I think some 5-stars take that like, oh man, I'm not doing good here. It ain't my fault. It's something about this school. I'm gonna, like Dylan was saying, I'm gonna transfer. And then here you are, you're at Syracuse. Like, bro, come on.
Stupid, man. Before we dive into the scout, Brent Rains in the chat says, do y'all think Jermod needs reps?
Not this game.
Mm-mm. If he doesn't feel comfortable going, I'm not sending him.
I'm in agreement with that. I while we know if he was playing and was healthy, it's really locked down. Like, we're straight. I would much rather give someone else the opportunity in a game like this, and let Mod maybe play a couple series against ETSU. Like let that be kind of his, like, all right, game rep. Let me get hit. Let me get hit in my knee type game. You know what I mean? Not something like this first game of the year, like neutral site. No, like, we can wait.
Yep.
Yeah, because I want to see Colton Hood too. I think he's going to be a dog. I think he's going to help us on the defense somewhere this year.
Yeah, he's definitely,
even with Mod coming back, he'll be on the field somewhere at some point.
Oh yeah, Clout in the chat says, I hope that Joey keeps the gunslinger mentality, but with a higher football IQ approach. You can expect. Here's the thing: his football IQ is out of this world. Actually, I think that he has always at App State had to be the savior. And now he just has to be the manager. Like, I don't know if y'all watch the 4th and 1 podcast with Cam Newton. He always talks about who is a game manager and who is like a game maker or a game breaker. And Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl, and Cam Newton, which I agree with him. He's like, Jalen Hurts was a game manager. Like, he didn't have to do anything for the Philly to win. Like, hit open guys. That's not you being special, bro. That's you being a decent quarterback. Like, you're just doing what you should, right? And so that's what Joey has to be. Joey does not have to be all world beater for us to be great in 2025. Joey could be, and I've said this all offseason, boys. If Joey's 10% better than Nico, we going back to the playoff. I promise. 10%. That's all I need. 10%. Can I tell y'all what 10% is on Nico's stats? All right, I'm going to tell you anyways. He threw for 2,600 yards. I just want 10% more. Like, give me 28. Give me 28. He threw for 19 touchdowns. What? Joe Milton threw more touchdowns than you. And we complained about Joe Milton all year. Okay? Like, give me just a little bit more, which we know Joe's going to throw probably 24 to 28 tuds. Like, he's just got that in him. He's done it every single year wherever he's been. So, go ahead.
He's not going to have to run for his life like he did last year at App State either. They did not have a good offensive line.
No.
Yeah, he had 14 interceptions. He was also sacked 15 times. And even with 14 interceptions, his like QB rating was 132.5. So like, that's not bad.
No, it's not bad. Clout says, who is getting the first touchdown? I got what I think.
I got what I think too.
I think it's a little something to a tight end. I don't know who, but it's something to the tight ends.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
A little run over the top of a linebacker.
I think that whole first drive is going to be D-Bish Eaton and then play action to a tight end. Definitely
play action, wheel route, Kitzelman.
Something's there. I heard Miles Kisselman on the Big Orange something. They took over the Vol Club Confidential podcast. Miles Kisselman talked to AP today, and he's making it seem like he still ain't got cleared to play. And I'm like, Miles, you are a professional at this. You got everybody now not thinking that you playing.
Well, I think that's a big thing with the depth chart too. I think it's a big mind game thing.
It is. It totally is.
We don't know. We really don't know who's healthy. I mean, Brazel's been back out there. Staley's been back out there. But are they 100% ready to go in shape?
Probably.
But we don't know. 100%.
How many practices that the media went to that says we didn't see this person? We didn't see this person.
Yeah,
we didn't. How many of those practices did they practice in? That's the real question, right? Yep. Brent Rains in the chat says Nico hit 17% beyond 25 yards last year.
Oh.
He was bad. He was bad. All right, last question before we dive into the scout on Syracuse. JT Money 4 says, do y'all think he says, I think Joey's going to come out and surprise us. After this game, we're going to be super hyped about the season. Also, this is the year Georgia walks out of Neyland with an L. They better this year because we ain't going to play them for the next probably 2-3. So with the new conference rules and stuff. So all right, boys, let's dive in, man. Let's dive in. Who is Syracuse? I have a scout for you guys on the Syracuse Orange. Lot of looking things up, a lot of searching, a lot of digging. But here's what you need to know. The Syracuse Orange, coached by Fran Brown, who was actually an analyst for the Georgia Bulldogs during the 2022 and 23 seasons. His first time leading a team was Syracuse in 2024. They have a great offense as far as the spread, air raid, more driven. They will run the football. They run inside zone about 32% of the time as far as the offensive side of the ball. They don't like to run power. They run a lot of inside zone, and they're going to give you some counter looks as far as the running game. Now, they did lose their starting running back last year, so you will see a guy by the name of Yasin Willis, who will be their starting running back in 2024. He is a 6'1", 235-pound back. Those are the guys that we like to tackle. Can I tell you why? Remember the guy from NC State last year, Jordan, I can't remember his last name. He was a bigger back. Those are the guys that we love to hit because they cannot get going before we get to them. That is a big thing for us and a big marker, I think, that we can stop. Obviously, the biggest news for Syracuse offensively is that the transfer Steve Angeli from Notre Dame will be their starting quarterback. Ricky Collins, who was there during the spring, who was there at ACC Media Day, did not win the job. I did a little digging on, was this actually a competition or did Angeli kind of win it before he even stepped foot on campus? And lo and behold, Fran Brown was recruiting Steve Angeli when he was at Bergen Catholic. He was recruiting him heavily, wanting him to come where he was at the time, and Angeli picked Notre Dame. The fact that Angeli saw Fran Brown was at Syracuse, saw a great opportunity, makes a lot of sense as to why Steve Angeli is the starting quarterback there at Syracuse. They bring back Justice Ross Simmons at receivers. They bring back another guy in, what's my guy's name? Something Gibbs. Can't remember his first name. But they bring him back at receiver, two guys that had pretty decent years. All right, his name's not Gibbs, it's Gill, by the way. They bring a couple of those guys back who had pretty decent years. Gill, a stretchy, kind of twitchy 6'3" guy on the outside, can make plays downfield, but does a lot better with the ball in space. And like we talked about a little earlier, the former five-star recruit, Jonte Cook, who has transferred from Texas, then transferred from Washington, has ended up in upstate New York at Syracuse. Who is he? Like, what is he going to do in 2025? I guess we'll find out Saturday. They lost their number one tight end, who is actually playing for the Los Angeles Chargers now, in Mr. Gadsden, but they bring back a guy who was a former quarterback translated into a tight end. Listening to Locked on Syracuse today, he said he is not very good. He cannot be any close to how their tight end was last year. So Tennessee fans, take that as we would like. We should be blowing him off the ball every single play. Syracuse's offensive line. I saw an article that said they are rookie driven. This means they have no leadership. They have no experience playing on this level against a team like Tennessee. This offensive line, and I quote, is rookie driven. When I saw that, I said, mighty, mighty, mighty. In 2024, Syracuse only averaged 3.2 yards per carry. And reminder, they are starting a new running back this year. Their pass defense, nearly 66% of passes were completed by opponents for over 230 yards a game in 2024. Syracuse averaged 7.1 penalties for nearly 60 yards a game in 2024. Syracuse returns just 50% of their total production, the least in the entire conference. And lastly, they probably have the toughest schedule in the ACC this year. And sorry, not the toughest, the weakest schedule in the ACC this year. They have the 14th toughest strength of schedule. So we'll see what that does. The other thing here about Syracuse, when we go to the defensive side of the ball for them, they are led by a veteran secondary a guy by the name of Deuce Chestnut. They did add a great transfer in Chris Thomas Jr., who is going to be on the defensive line. He's 6'6", 327 pounds. He should make some noise. But again, y'all, we just don't that defense is not very good. Can I tell you something? They are going to be starting a true freshman at corner in Demetrius Samuel Jr. This guy should actually be a high school junior. He's 17 years old. Can y'all believe it? He's 17. Oh my God. We're going to hear that all game. He's 17.
Don't start that, bro.
But they're going to start him. They're probably going to start him at corner, and they've got a Travis Hunter kind of role built for him as well. Who knows? They do have a good linebacker in Derek McDonald, who had 54 tackles in 2024. However, in pass coverage, terrible in pass coverage. They also bring back Anwar Sparrow, who re-entered the program after kind of tinkering with the transfer portal. They also do have a freshman at that position in Antoine Deslores, who could make an impact. We don't know. Going back to their receiver room, they lose their 1,000-yard receiver in Trevor Pena to who? The Penn State Nittany Lions. Nittany Lions. That's kind of hard to say. That's kind of the first time I've ever said that for real. And they think that this room is just going to turn over and be great again. And when you lose a guy that had over 1,000 yards, the only 1,000-yard receiver on that roster last year, things are going to change. And so obviously Angeli's there. And the thing with Syracuse guys, there's just a few things that we have to do, and then we'll kind of just toss it around and just start talking about this. I've got four strengths for Tennessee. Four strengths for Syracuse that Tennessee needs to look out for. Number one, obviously, Fran Brown is the energy bug. What I mean is, if they get a little momentum, their coach, they will take on the impression of their coach. They will take on the personality of Fran Brown, who is very gritty, very strong-willed, very strong-minded, great head coach, and I think he's going to be great. They have, let's just say this, they got a great passing game. What they were able to do in 2024 was special. Now, a reminder, they also had a former starting quarterback for Ohio State on their roster. That is very important to understand. They do have an experienced back end as far as in their defensive back room, but again, they got torched last year. And then they did bring in a couple of things on the defensive line that they didn't have last year. But guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, something absolutely wild is going to have to happen if Tennessee is not going to win this game. Something crazy has to happen. Watching my guy Bull over at Blue Chip Breakdown, he put out a great video a couple of weeks ago, or not even a couple of weeks ago, because I guess it was maybe 2 days ago, and he was breaking down how many blue chip players we had versus them. We had 50 blue chip players. They had 14 blue chip players. He said, let me explain to you what this means. This is basically like playing Vanderbilt. That's exactly what we're facing, guys. And I ain't scared of it. What y'all got?
I'll just run through it from Syracuse's offense. They want to dink and dunk you to death. They don't run the ball a lot. Like you said, it was low 30s of inside zone. They were 6th in the league last year in passing yards per game, but they were 9th nationally in time of possession at 33 minutes. So they are dink and dunking you to death. Kyle McCord last year averaged about 8 pass yard attempts. So they're just going short. This is going to be a linebacker game. Jeremiah Teelander.
You're saying he averaged 8 yards per attempt?
Yes. Yeah.
Just bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah. Just dinking it down the field. But this is going to be a linebacker game. Jeremiah Teelander, Arian Carter, the young guys that we got below them, watch Angeli's eyes. He's going to look the way that he throws. Just stay in your zone, get comfortable. And Syracuse wants to put the game in Angeli's hands because that's the only way that they're going to win is if he goes off. Angeli has to win this game, but Joey just has to show up.
I agree with that 100%.
Well, and that fits Syracuse too because everything I've been hearing, they say Angeli's not really he can throw the deep ball, but he's more of a dink and dunk kind of quarterback. He's not the deep threat quarterback that you would see. He likes to dink and dunk.
Yeah, I definitely think he gives them the best chance to win this game, but I don't think that's much of a chance at all. Really looking at him and who he was unable to beat out for the starting job multiple times at Notre Dame in the 3 years he was there. Not super impressed, not super worried about it at all. The best team that he has a completion against in his time there at Notre Dame was at Penn State last year in January, and he threw 6 completions in that game. Pretty much everyone else he played against, I mean, when you look at his accuracy stats, they look impressive. But then when you go look at who he was actually in games against for Notre Dame, not a whole lot. Nobody that gives me any confidence. But the reason I say he's got to be the one to get them going in this game is their starting running back had a whopping 130 yards last year. And I know he wasn't the starter, so we're not expecting a lot. But the thing is, 81 of those yards came against Holy Cross and UNLV. So in all their other games, he had about 50. And they've got a freshman-driven offensive line that's going to be getting freshman-driven back into their laps all game by our defensive line. So I ain't worried about their offense at all. I know I said seems like 2 months ago now that I thought this game would be closer than we wanted it to be because of things that were going on. But I honestly hadn't done all that much research into Syracuse at that point. So it's not going to be close. Whoever in our chat said we're going to have 300 rushing yards, I wholeheartedly agree. And I'll talk about it when we get to their defense.
Well, I think too. I think we got to realize too now. Could Angeli do it maybe halfway through the season? Sure. But I mean, you're putting a lot of pressure on a guy who's been there the same time Joey Aguilar's been in Tennessee. He ain't been there very long. It's too early. Could he do it? Sure, maybe halfway through the season, but not this early.
No, I agree with that. Tennessee Junior in the chat says, "Oh, this is going to be fun for them dogs in our front 7." Yeah, I'm expecting Don Bailey and Tyree West and Bryson Eason and Nathan Robinson and Jackson Moy and Caleb Herring and Joshua Josephs and Jordan Raw. Like, do I need to keep going? Like, and people continue to say Tennessee doesn't have depth there anymore. Huh? Y'all just don't know. The national media writers, a.k.a. J.D. Piquel, a.k.a. Greg McElroy, y'all don't do your research for real. Y'all just be talking. Y'all genuinely don't do your research. Y'all just talk. And so you telling us that we don't have depth and we going to rotate 3 groups. That's who else is doing that? Okay. Let's go to the chat. JT Money says, who stands out more between Mike Matthews or Braylon Staley? I'm not going to answer this because Dylan and I are probably a little biased. Who's going to make the biggest impact right away? Mike Matthews. Who are you going to be excited about come Alabama week? Braylon Staley.
If we're talking about who stands out more in the Syracuse game, I'm going to say whoever's lined up across from the 17-year-old.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be Brazel or Mike Matthews.
Yeah.
I just want Staley to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what Heupel did in the offseason with the load management, like we're hearing it as injuries, but a lot of this, yes, some of them were, but most of them was like, hold on, you feel some type of way? Let's just sit you down for a minute, right? Because it's very, to me, it was very coincidental that Brazel gets arrested, gets out of jail, and then is at practice the next day. Come on, y'all. Like, come on, y'all. He just had to make an appearance for people to think like, okay, he's good. He been out there, bro. He been out there. People just don't get it. Why did Joey say in his press conference, yeah, I connected with Chris once he got back? This was just less than a week ago. Like, he's been practicing. So, like, this is, again, Heupel does a good job protecting his team. He really does. JT Money answering your question. He says, do you think Tennessee gets to wear the orange or white, or does Syracuse get to wear the orange? Tennessee is the home team, so we will be wearing orange and white. It's white bottoms. Clout says defensive line keeps those hands up. Linebackers keep those heads on a swivel. Brent Raines, defensive line going to do their thing. Ian said, like I said, 40-13, go Big Orange. Last time that the score looked like that, we went to LSU, y'all, by the way. Hey, Clout is back. We finna be smoking on that Syracuse pack. This is real, though. We can talk about this. Tennessee put the national media on notice this season. Too much disrespect has been dished out. I believe that. I think that people have counted us out because of the Nico saga, right? I think people have placed Tennessee on this. Yeah, they're probably going 8-4 simply because of Joey Aguilar being at quarterback. And I'm just like, y'all, I mean, if you did not watch Nico play, you do not know how bad he was most games. Like, it just was to not score in almost 4 straight first halves in SEC play. What are we doing? Like, I went back and watched the Bama game. Again, I put myself through torture. Why? I don't know. He played so bad. And all sometimes people remember is the dot he threw to Brazel. And Lord have mercy, it was a dot. But no one's talking about the picks, how bad they were. Why are we rolling to our left in the red zone, throwing it into triple coverage? Brother Bear, what are you doing? So I just think, again, man, Joey Aguilar gives us this veteran mindset. The last 24-year-old we had playing quarterback should have took us to the playoffs, should have won the Heisman, bearing an ACL injury, quite literally. And so I don't know, boys. I don't have any fear when it comes to Syracuse. That could be good or bad. I don't know.
I just think we're just more talented. I mean, we said it earlier on the phone. Like, it could be a 14-10 game at the half, but by the end of it, it might be 40-13. I just think we're like, we talk about in the past, Tennessee's almost there. Tennessee's almost there. I think we're there. I think we got the talent. All that talent is just unproven. That's what just gets me about this year is I don't know. We could go 8-4. I don't know. We could go 10-2. I don't know. We've got the talent. We just don't know what the talent's just unproven.
Yep.
Here's the thing. We talked about their offense. Their defense doesn't scare me any more than their offense does. They gave up 1,900 yards rushing last year. Let me just read you off their opponents. Ohio, Georgia Tech. Now, you may be thinking Georgia Tech, they normally run a lot. They actually didn't give up a lot to them. I'll give them that. Stanford, Holy Cross, UNLV, NC State, Pittsburgh, Virginia Tech, Boston College, California, Connecticut, Miami. We had to get to the last game of the season to get to a legitimately good team that was really just an exceptional quarterback carrying an offense all year. And, oh, by the way, that NC State game you heard me say, Syracuse won that game 24-17. We won our game against them with Nico 51-10. So, again, they cannot stop the run. We could roll out George in a wheelchair out there and just run the ball all game. We're still going to destroy them. They have lost way too much of the guys who were playing on their team. They lost their best defensive players to the draft from last year. which was like 2, but good for them. Congrats on making it to the draft. And they've brought in some guys. They brought in one of the guys they were most excited about was a transfer from Marshall. So like,
Who's excited about somebody from Marshall?
that is exactly my point. He was going to play on the defensive line. He was going to be one of their starters. You put D-Bish against a guy from Marshall who transferred in and is, still learning the Syracuse system. It's not going to be a good time.
Nope.
The only way we don't rush for 300 in my mind is if the defense keeps giving us a short field by forcing turnovers, which is also pretty likely.
Yeah.
Turner and I talk about this comment, I think, 3 times every other week. If Nico connects on 2 or 3 of the deep shots against Bama, Tennessee wins 38-17 or even more than that. Yes, we talk about that so much, bro. Like, guys just running booty naked. Like, guys, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I'm talking about. People have complained that our offense, and C2, me and Dylan talked about this, but people talked about how our offense is so vanilla and we don't do this and we don't do that. Guys still open. It wouldn't be vanilla if you was hitting the guys. People would not even use the word vanilla if guys were catching the football wide open. But guess what? We ain't even giving them a chance to catch the ball. So when they do get the chance to catch the ball and they drop it, I'm like, yeah, I guess they didn't even think that the ball was going to get there on time. So it's like, I don't know, man. I'm in the middle with all of the drops and everything, because I'm like, dude, when you're not getting good balls thrown to you when you're wide open, it's easy to drop the easy ones. Period. Who said that? Let's see. Oh, Clout says, never forget running out of bounds against Arkansas. Joey throws that up. Oh, yeah, Joey throwing that up. Joey might have threw it up like 3-step drop, just let it go, just to see if somebody would bring it down. Like, yeah, that's just playing football for a long time. Understanding, like, you don't need to make something happen there. Like, you just need to let somebody go and try to make a play. And we didn't let that happen. We took the game away.
I think that's one thing I'm most excited about is Joey. I think Joey's going to give. I mean, we said it. I mean, I said it a bunch last year. I just want to see our receivers get a 50-50 ball. If I don't care. Like, just give him a shot. I mean, you got 5-star Mike Matthews. You got a Chris Brazzell that's 6'5". I mean, just throw it up to him and see if he comes down with it. And I think we're going to get that with Joey.
Put a little more air under the ball and stop trying to throw it into triple coverage. And that wasn't directed at him. There are a few different times going back and watching film that Nico just threw it in between like 4 defenders, and we were lucky it wasn't intercepted.
Clout says Nico always played for himself, whereas Joey plays for his team. And I feel like you can feel that through everyone's communication to the media about Joey Aguilar, right? Like, they would not get on a freaking microphone in front of the thousands of people who are going to watch that and say anything that they really didn't mean, right? Like, that would be stupid. And that's just not what they're going to do. And I think Jeremiah Thielander said it best. Like, he built a relationship with everybody, and they found commonalities throughout video games or meals, whatever it might have been. And so it just gives me so much hope that this team is going to look different from a continuity standpoint rather than from how much talent we had in 2024. I think continuity is going to look beautiful on the field, because Deshaun Bishop could barely even talk to the media with how happy he was to play football Saturday. That boy was just like, I just got to thank God.
Probably because he watched their defensive line on film.
Yeah, he got excited.
Yeah. Speaking of their tackling, I got a stat for everybody.
Uh-oh.
Not only was Syracuse one of the worst tackling teams in the ACC, They started their season last year against Ohio. Take a wild guess at how many missed tackles there were from Syracuse in that game.
Against Ohio.
25.
Ohio, not Ohio State. The Ohio Bobcats.
Man, that was my team on college football 25 in one of my leagues. They were terrible. I'm gonna say 19.
I was gonna go like 25.
So I said 25.
Bro got it right on the money. It's 19.
Woo-hoo,
There you
look
go,
at
bro.
that. Yes, sir. Ski. That was a good guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
19. And then to their credit, the next week against Georgia Tech, they did only have 6, but still.
Yeah, Georgia Tech was riding that high from beating FSU in Dublin.
Yeah, they were.
for
I remember
sure.
watching that game actually a little bit, like seeing like, hey, like they just did not. Georgia Tech could not get anything going offensively, and it wasn't because Syracuse defense. Like they just looked sloppy. So, boys, y'all know what it is, man. It's Monday. Everybody in the chat, it's our early in the week prediction. Okay, early in the week. Go ahead, drop your early score predictions for the week. We're going to go ahead and pick ours. The line right now, guys, is sitting still at 13.5, according to DraftKings and ESPN Bet. That line is still 13.5. The over-under has not changed, 50.5. Turner, how you feeling on a Monday, bro?
So good. I think you got my score prediction?
Yep.
Man, that's a tough one. Y'all ain't gonna like my score prediction. I think we win. I'm gonna say we cover 34. We got 34-21.
I like it.
34-21.
I'm good with a dub. 20 to 19. I'm happy. We won. C2, what you got?
I'm thinking like 38-9. I don't think we let them get in the end zone, to be honest with you.
Oh,
I'm just not impressed with their offense at all from anything I've seen.
Man. Okay, deal. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just don't play with your food and take care of the ball. This game's going to be a breeze for us. I got 41-10.
Man, I like that, y'all. I ain't capping, boy. I'm really vibing. I told Turner this today earlier, and I'm going to stick with it. I genuinely think it's close at halftime. I think it's maybe 14-10, and we're just like, man, they playing pretty decent. And then I just think something happens where we just blow the top off of that place. And I think that final score is like 42-10 as well. Like 41-10, maybe 42-17, something that's just abysmal because we just too many dudes, y'all. At some point, the talent gap will be shown. It's what's happened to us against Georgia and Alabama on the road every single year since Heupel's been here. You played Georgia last year. You give them the half of their life, and we just couldn't finish. Last 2023, we're beating Bama at halftime. Didn't score another point the rest of the game. Like at some point, that talent does pick up, and I just night Syracuse.
So I got 2 questions for Ruck and Turner.
Okay.
Just I'm no hate. Is this year's defense better, worse, or on the same footing as last year's?
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say better because the secondary is better.
Okay. And is this year's Syracuse – sorry, Turner, you go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say better as well.
And is this year's Syracuse better, worse, or the same as NC State last year? This year's Syracuse, mind you, not last year with old McCord at quarterback.
Probably the same.
So why we think this Syracuse team gonna score more points than NC State did? Like, what are we doing?
Let him cook.
Let him cook, coach. What they say? Oh, y'all, man. This is just the start of the week, man. It's Monday. It's the Who Is show. Y'all, we are back live Wednesday night for the midweek chat. And then you're going to get a pre-recorded OG show on Friday morning. Me and Turn going to dive into the first one more day of the year. We're going to dive into keys to victory on Wednesday instead because we'll have more of our guys here on Wednesday. We're going to do our college football pick'ems on Wednesday. So we'll go through the whole slate. And just go through every game that's on the Pick'ems app and see kind of like, hey, how are we feeling about this? How we feel about this? We'll fly through that. But it's going to be fire. We're going to do all of our playmakers of the game. What do we think Tennessee does? Who shows up? Look, boy, we got people going crazy already. Ian Pickett, Joey throws for 303 tuds. If he does that, y'all, if he really goes for 303 tuds, bro,
I don't know. I might have to. I don't know. I don't know.
Ian's got us getting 550 yards this game. He said we're going to rush for at least 250. Now Joey's throwing 300.
If we throw for 300, bro, I'm just telling y'all, Tennessee will be the talk of the media. If Joey Aguilar goes for 303 tuds, they won't get enough of it. They'll be like, Tennessee gonna beat Georgia.
How much you want to bet? If Joey goes out there and throws for 300, one game in, bet he's in the Heisman odds.
Nah, no shot.
Not against Syracuse.
No,
You watch. Nico
no
he
shot.
played absolutely terrible last year. He's a quarterback for Tennessee. He'll be in it, I promise.
Holy smokes, dude. If he is, I'll lose it. I will lose it.
If he is, I'll put like a 50 down. Just see.
Hey, look at that. Brent Raines. Me and my son got some tickets. Excited to be in the room for it. Well, Brent, me and Turner might see you there, bud. Let us know. Hit us up at Straight Up Tennessee on Instagram, and let's see where you at. We'll hang out, take a picture together, smile for the camera. You know what I mean? Gonna be a fun day. But yes, like I said, y'all, we're back live. Yeah, that's right, Cloud. Straight Up Tennessee is back. We are, man. We are full live in effect. Wednesday, I'm probably gonna have definitely Sale will be in the building on Wednesday. Dylan be in the building. We'll give Turner the night off because we already know he always busy. I can't believe he showed up tonight, y'all. Praise the Lord. Thank you, God. But yes, y'all. So again, we'll be live Wednesday night for the midweek chat. We'll also do our college football pick'ems, and we'll also on Friday's show, you're gonna get everything else: keys to victory, playmakers of the game, and final score predictions. Also, pump the gas, hit the brakes. Returns. Gonna be a fun week. But y'all got anything, man, before we wrap tonight?
More sleeps.
Vols.
Not one, not two, not three, not four, but just 5. Just 5. Sleep tight, everybody. We can't wait to be back with you live on Wednesday. You only got 2 days, really just 1 day in between. And you get us back on Wednesday. So for my guy Dylan, for my guy C2, for my boy Turner, you already know what it is, man. It's Straight Up Tennessee, baby. And we will see you back live Wednesday night, same time, same place. It's Straight Up Tennessee, baby. We'll see you Wednesday.